Well, good evening and welcome. Great to see everyone here. Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Dorsey fans. Some of you go way back. Some of you are newer than others. Some of you might be brand new. But it is always a pleasure to welcome you and to welcome Tim Dorsey to Vero Beach. 12 novels behind him, former newspaperman, editor. We're glad he's writing novels. So please join me in a warm round of applause for Tim Dorsey with Electric Barracuda.
But anyway, as I was saying, I love coming over here. It's like, I know you get authors come through all the time and it sounds so phony, you know, I love coming to this place. But no, I really am sincere when I say I love coming to this place. But I have in-laws here. I have, I don't know why they like me, but they put up with me. And where's Guy? I got my brother-in-law Guy over here, and Tracy and Blake and Evan and Henry and Linda. And they feel sorry for me. They know my personal habits, so they bring me a care package of proper nutrition when I come through town. But what I can do is I've got plenty of stories that I picked up from the road and things I've been doing. But what I'd like to start with is questions you might have about the new book or you know, whatever that you've heard about me or just in general from reading the series. I will call on people because otherwise this is going to be a really awkward, quiet part, and I'll give you a pop quiz about. Yes, thank you.
Driving up today from Fort Pierce, there's an antique store that's up on the hill. It's a really old building. It was supposedly owned by Gloria Swanson. It was supposed to be a brothel at one time. And have you ever had that in any books or seen that or heard any stories about that one?
Not that one, but for some reason old brothels make their way into like this. The No Name Pub out in Big Pine Key started out as a trading post, and the brothel was upstairs. And then in this book, there's a brothel. It's true. It was out in the middle of the Everglades. There's a speakeasy and a brothel, and Al Capone actually had it put up out there. Yeah, he did it just over the date line. You'll read all about it. I'm not giving anything away, but that's the history that I did. And just by way of, if you didn't know earlier, and this is just naked self-promotion, but from over the years, people asking me, because some people go through, and one of the most flattering things I get is when they say, you know, that we're taking a vacation to Florida, and we're using, your book as a travel guide as opposed to the Chamber of Commerce or. No, really, because I mean, these are the places I would love to go, and that was how the book started. Was I wanted to bird dog all my favorite things, and I kind of, overlaid it with a story and a plot and all the other stuff. But it's just all my favorite places I like to travel to, and so. And then like in Torpedo Juice, Serge finally gets married, very briefly. Didn't work out too well, but that happens down. And so this guy had, he says, yeah, I'm taking a vacation down to Florida, and I went through Torpedo Juice, and I highlighted all the real locations in the books, because eventually people realize if they're reading the series that, I'm not making up the locations and the history. And so he says, yeah, I've marked up Torpedo Juice, and I'm going down. It's going to be my honeymoon. Good luck, fella. But this is what I did. Is people said we don't want to go back. Is there any sort of guide, or can you come out with one? So I decided, and people asked also for a photo book. So I've spoken about this many times when I've come through here, that I really take these trips and I take a lot of research, jaunts, and I take 1 million photographs like Serge does. And so this is a book of the locations and the research photos that I took. Wow. And I put in the addresses and what books they appear in. And I'm going to have to remember what page this is. Hold on, because I'm going to talk about this. But anyway, so they have a ton of these here and up front. So let's go back to see if there are any questions before I start kind of talking about Randy Wayne White again.
Yeah. I got one. Where did this character Serge come from?
Hey, Serge, where did he come from? See, I read this. They actually have a reminder here on the podium. Speakers, please repeat the question. So where did Serge come from? He was an accident. I was writing the first book, and I've heard a lot of people talk about this. If you're in kind of a certain genre, just emulate the best until you find your own voice and kind of move out. And so, John D. McDonald and I had, you got to know deep history about the series, but and you could probably see the writing process. Sean and David were going to be my main characters. You know, basically, you know, Travis McGee and Meyer, and Surge kind of. I wanted a larger than life villain, and so when I was doing his backstory, I guess it was a kind of a tumultuous time in my life. I was feuding with some people, and basically. And so anyway, when I had him start getting into the violence, I kind of went overboard, and I had too much fun doing it. And I said, this is it. You know? So that's what happened. And then what really sealed the deal was when I had my outline for the book, I had my plot, and then I had all of the stuff that actually came first, which was all the things I love about Florida that are kind of offbeat, and a lot of the things that aren't, you know, don't have the publicity and the notoriety of other things. And I had way too much of that Floridiana and not enough plot to hang it on. But then when Surge, because he's insane in general, so then I made him obsessively insane about Florida. And once he started ranting about Florida, he became my conduit to get all of this stuff out, and in a way that didn't seem like I was just kind of rattling off a history lesson. You know, it made it more sugar-coated. So that's how Surge came to pass.